Hey, today we're going to talk about the faithful steward who multiplies. Okay, I was just walking through the village where I call home and really am just struck by the parable of the faithful stewards, the ones that Jesus said their master told them, "Well done, good and faithful servants," when they multiplied what he had given them. Now, it's really easy for me to think about this parable in terms of money, and money tends to be a really big thing for most of us, but I want to take a moment to look at it in a bit more of a grounded sense. Okay, so you'll see that I have some plants here with me. I'm getting down on the ground. I've got this. Now, this is one of my favorite plants for the example of the faithful stewards. Okay, this plant is called Mother of Thousands, and you'll see that it's got little leaves hanging off of it. And these little baby leaves drop onto the ground. Now, I just pulled most of the little sprouts that go with this out of the ground. There's a couple little ones. It drops its leaves and it begins to multiply itself. Ergo, it's called Mother of Thousands. Now, what I've just taken is I've collected a pot and some dirt. I don't know how much these are at your local hardware store, probably not much. And dirt. Now, this is really amazing homegrown soil if you collect your food scraps, if you want to go out to a nearby horse stable, or if you have neighbors who have animals that produce manure like horses, cows, donkeys, things like that eat grass, you can start creating mixtures of soil. You can just go get soil from the earth. Unfortunately, a lot of our earth has been stripped bare, but we've taken a lot of time in our community to compose this soil. Every day I get out and start working with the soil. That's how I begin my days. And so I've put this soil mixture together, and I just grabbed what the plant naturally dropped and put all these little babies into an array and in a pot. Multiplication. It's very simple. I was holding my clippers earlier. I took this beautiful plant that I did nothing for, okay? So here's the value. The steward in the parable that we're using, Jesus' example of this parable, right? The steward told his, the steward, the master, told his servants that he doesn't always reap where he has sown. In other words, he sows where he has not reaped. Okay, so an example for that of me is I didn't grow this plant, right? Somebody else was responsible for putting it in the ground, and ultimately, God's the one who makes the plants grow. I didn't grow this. But that doesn't stop me from being responsible to multiply it. So I took my clippers, I came in here, I clipped off a little piece from right here, and I have just put it into a new pot here, multiplying. And it's happening right outside my front door, and it's costing me nothing. And now I have the opportunity to come and share the depth of wisdom that God's been offering to me through these journeys of what is it to be a faithful steward and multiply. And what I find most fascinating about all of this is that God, I don't think he was really talking about money. I don't think he was really talking about plants, although he was, and he meant that. But we're choosing to be faithful over a little. Whatever God has given us responsibility over, that's what we're stewarding. And when we're faithful with it, we're going to multiply whatever he's given us to steward. And I'm going to tell you right now, I've been thinking about this concept for months without knowing fully how to apply it. And what I would say to you is do start thinking about it, and then take little actions, even if those actions feel wrong or insufficient, or you don't know how it's going to turn out, especially when you don't know how it's going to turn out. When the faithful steward took the talents that his master had given to him to go put them to work, there was a chance he could have lost everything, but he didn't. And even if he had lost the money, I'm sure that what he would have gained is a lesson. But the worst lesson that we can gain is the lesson that our inaction cost us something very valuable. That our mentality that, oh, I don't have enough. I don't want to cut up this plant because what if it gets distressed and dies? It's possible, but I would rather practice with propagation. I would rather practice, and I can't tell you how many houseplants I've not taken good care of in the past to get to the point where now I'm able to steward a plethora of God's good green earth. Those who have will be given to, and those who have not, even what they have will be taken from them. I encourage you today to be one of the ones who has, to take inventory of what's in your hands, in your stewardship, and in your care, and begin multiplying today.